imagine what the Wild Wild West must have looked like when it was just an open book. Like, you know, we could make some shit. We could make some moves right now.
Give him an air dash.
Well, what's funny about it is like, I think people went through the same like grieving process with P+, where they were like, "How could the devs do that to us? Like, they increased my knockback growth,
What?
or decreased my knockback growth by 5. Like, this is I was like,
It's unplayable now.
you don't understand. Mewtwo can teleport out of hover in the air, like, you know, PK Fire activated on Shield. Like, this was not that long ago.
Activation on Shield.
PK Fire activated on Shield. Lucario's down B was invincible. It was like when you canceled into it. So if you did like a down B into Nair, you couldn't do anything against it. You had to just run away.
I will say, before we get into this, I do want to point out that the experience that Che and I have with that is getting whooped by Double in our first year of playing. And Double was around for all of the dev, and he would just beat our asses with every character, and every time he would like do an Ivysaur back air, he'd be like, that used to be bigger. Just had to point it out.
Right here, that's on stream. Or we just talking.
I thought they were gonna hand warp, so I thought we had time, but yeah,
okay, they went right. My bad. I didn't realize.
No, it's chill, it's chill.
I was looking at the wrong page there. Discord is funky like that. So who do we got on right now?
So we got Ellipsis, the well-known Michigan Game & Watch, and Dobert, the mystery man from what's his thing, Che? Wisconsin?
I don't know. No one knows who this
He's
guy is.
kind of an enigma. He just sort of appeared, and is a nasty pit player.
I mean, he's pretty sick of this thing. You kind of look at him and you're like, man, this character has a lot of strengths. Like, he always had a lot of strength with 3.6, but, you know, he just didn't work right. Now that he works right, you're like, yeah, that's a pretty complete character. He might be a threat.
Yeah, right. That was always the way it used to be, is Pit would move around and you say, like, man, if only this character had, you know, just a little bit more. And now that some of the moves connect properly and whatnot, he's got some stuff.
I mean, like, we were talking about what kind of his game plan is, and what I think what's cool about him is he has a lot of ways to close out stocks. You know, he can take you off stage, he can up smash you, he can up B you, like, he can just take your stuff away with arrows. So you have to really be paying attention to these weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Game & Watch is kind of like that too. I mean, he just will like, you kind of just have to keep all the bag of tricks that he has in, like, you know, couch cancel, down smash. It's still working in 2020. So.
I mean, that's the other thing, is the Midwest, I mean, we have a good number of Game & Watches, and they all utilize the kit slightly differently. And Ellipsis is one who I see a lot of maneuvering that the other Game & Watches don't necessarily do. I'm talking like that weird turnaround stuff, the B reverse with the pan and everything. So he positioned himself in a really interesting way, which on top of Game & Watch's pretty big hitboxes, he's good at mixing up his threat range.
Yeah, I really like the way he plays. He's probably my favorite Game & Watch player to watch. I have been a noted Game & Watch critic in the past.
I was about to say, that's high praise coming from you.
No, it is. I mean, I don't think Game & Watch is like, I like a lot of the Game & Watch players.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's not like, he plays it in a more conservative style, I would argue. When I've talked to him in the past, he says, yeah, like, I try to play more fundamentally if I can. But he's hard not to abuse his strengths. Of course, in P+, he's a little less abusable than he has been in the past. Oh, that was a slick, quick ledge grab. Just flies. It looks like it kind of canceled through it. Is that quicker now, or has that always been that fast? That looks like a little faster than when I used to play.
Might be a little bit faster.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, he's just doing it more cleanly than I've seen in the past.
Dobert just hits different.
Dobert's in the corner, though. All right, he finds his way out. This is down to the wire. This is a really good first game.
Yeah, very close. And, you know, they're kind of feeling each other out, I feel like, still. it's an interesting game between these two because they both have ways of covering a lot of stages with arrows and bacon, and you can see that they're giving each other the space.
Well,
They're playing practically full stage.
That was something I was going to point out too, is that with all of this bacon flying around, Dobert just doesn't have the time to shoot as many arrows. I mean, he was just standing in the corner with this barrage of bacon flying towards him. And at that point, you got to wonder, you know, do I go in with the glide aerial? Do I try and shoot arrows? It's not going to be enough. Ellipsis takes game 1.
Yeah, he's able to get that kind of classic up B into fair. I guess kind of the question there that I wouldn't know, because this is a very unusual matchup, even just like into the history of PM. We haven't seen it like a huge amount.
Yeah, I love that about PM.
How do the arrows interact with the bacon? After a certain point, are they making their way through, or do they cancel each other out? I mean, that's something I have to pay more attention to because it's new for me, frankly. I mean,
yeah.
I think maybe Watch and Learn versus Gallo I might have seen, but I honestly can't say for any certainty he predicted.
Yeah,
right away.
There's certain matchups that some of us may never get to cast. It's just sort of like Olimar Link. I don't know about that one. That might be on my bucket list.
Yeah, that is a pretty rare one. 3.6 I saw it a little bit. All right, nice little pickup. He's got him in a pretty bad position. He's trying to take all the resources. Doesn't look like he was able to. Actually, no, he's picking it up. He's still picking it up. Still got him in the corner, as you're saying. That's been something kind of strong that Ellipsis has been doing, is getting Dobert in the corner and just pressuring him. And Dobert has no way of getting out.
These bacon are flying right into glide aerial height, and that's typically, I haven't seen much of Dobert, but that looks like how he likes to get in.
Right.
Is that, you know, glide fair or whatever.
He doesn't have a jump.
Nice. The other big thing I'll point out, because we were talking about interaction between Arrow and Bacon, is the big difference is that Game & Watch is so much more actionable after his Bacon than Pit is after shooting an arrow. So even if it clanks, Ellipsis is going to be faster on the trigger afterwards.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that Pit doesn't have to worry about in a lot of matchups, is at a certain range, Arrow is just like really strong and fast. But it looks like in the Game & Watch matchup, Game & Watch has some ways of which it is no longer such a free approach option. Like, it's kind of the, you know, dial sonic boom, you throw it and then you run in after it, or you throw it. But it looks like at least Dobert hasn't been able to get that game plan going so much. Ooh, nice catch on the tournament winner Bear there.
He is doing a really good job of playing around the Bacon, but also kind of walling him out. And now that he has the lead, it's like sort of on Ellipsis to come to him.
Yep. And of course, anti-air arrows are always going to be really good for racking up damage and confirming into a kill. That's like a situation where we're going to see Dobert continue to arrow, continue to arrow, you know, and then just clean it up. Like, all that damage, that was not possible without those 5 arrows. You know, that's pretty crazy. Like, every single one of those arrows added up to that fair killing in that moment.
Isn't there some clip on YouTube of you screaming really loudly when Gallo hits like 7 arrows in a row backwards or something?
Well, it's me screaming. It's also Vortex in the background, like shrieking. I'm like yelling like kind of a normal person.
Yeah.
But Vortex is like literally squealing in the background. It sounds like I
remember that clip.
Yeah, that was on a GR Smash video.
That's what it was. That's what it was. I knew there was something about Gallo shooting a bunch of arrows. Good times.
Yeah, I mean, Pit, man, it's kind of a cool character. I mean,
so all right, you're in a safe place. How do you feel about Pit? Gallo's not here to get you.
I don't find him very fun to play against, and I find his like animations to be kind of boring, but I love the way he plays, if that makes sense. He's like such a like classic kind of melee kind of style character. He can be aggressive, he can be a wall. He has
Speaking of, that was 64.
Yeah, he hits hard, you know, and he has a creative way he's doing. So I like his design, but I just don't. He's kind of like Mewtwo. So Mewtwo also is not as his game plan would make it seem.
Sure. More fun to watch than play against.
Yeah,
for sure.
I actually like Mewtwo.
Okay, all right, fair.
Pit though, not so much.
Oh, Bacon stuffing him out. This suddenly became really close, and then it wasn't. Dobert started off with a huge lead, and then Ellipsis clawed his way back, but Dobert manages to clutch it out at the very end.
I feel like he's playing that sort of ticking him to death, ticking Ellipsis to death with little damage. Like all those arrows really just added up. I'm curious, like the bucket hasn't been coming out. We saw Ellipsis start with the bucket right away, thinking like, gonna grab that. But he hasn't
Yeah,
done it
right.
since then. So and it's making a difference, the arrows. So
What's something I've always wondered about is like showing the bucket as like your trap card. Like, I have this, by the way, you need to respect it. But so many Game & Watches, they like will flash it once and then never do it again. Or like they do it too much to the point that it's not a mix-up anymore. It's just what they're going for, and it's obvious. And I've always wondered what that looks like if you can hit that sweet spot of like, I have a bucket, so you need to consider these arrows. But like you just said, I mean, it looks like Ellipsis hasn't planted the seed in his head yet that he needs to be concerned because he's just letting him rip.
And in P+, because of like B-reversing, projectiles are so non-committal that once you see somebody going for a reflector option, you can like B-reverse out and then just punish the reflector. So it's like, it's even weaker than it was. Like Zelda doing Naryus, if you've ever played against with a projectile character against Zelda doing Naryus, you just want her to pull it out, and then you just B-reverse out and like run it, and like you have all the time of day to kind of punish.
Who are you playing nowadays?
I play Mewtwo, Diddy, and DDD, but I'm like kind of a low-level washed-up player right now, so I don't really have like not really all that much to try. But I'm trying all three of those characters right now. All right, that'll be it. That's one issue with this stage. Pit is gonna just take you off the side with extremely low percentages. And so we're gonna watch for us, gonna watch the second round.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing on this stage, right? Is because his platform combo game is so nasty. I've seen Drug Free Shooters blender people on the stage. Just straight 0 to death going up and down on the platforms. So it'll be interesting to see if Ellipsis can then be train started.
Yeah, it's a strong stage for Game & Watch for sure. But it can be risky. Low weight on Game & Watch. You know, gonna die off the top very early. Like, ooh,
almost like that.
Yeah, almost like that. That would look like pretty close. I have to say, by the way, oh, okay, wow. He's definitely killing a lot earlier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
The stage is just like, it's so unpredictable sometimes for me as a commentator when he'll kill it when he wants.
Yeah, right.
What was I gonna say? Oh, actually, I really do like what they did with Game Watch. I feel like he feels more fair. I know a lot of Game Watch players are upset, but I feel like he's a lot more entertaining to play against.
Oh, yeah.
So I really think shout out to them for the way they've done it. And Pit, of course, too, is also like oh, that was a great pickup out of him.
That's something I wanted to point out is look at how many times Dobert is just standing in, like, on this stage, for example, the part where the carpet runs out, or the rug. He's just content to sit in that corner as Bacon, like right there. And then as soon as he sees the smallest opening, he just flies in and racks up, you know, a really solid punish. This game is obviously going more in Ellipsis' favor, but it's something we've been seeing throughout the set.
Game & Watch has this huge threat zone, like a character or two like in front of him with like fair down tilt and all this stuff. So just stay out of that range. That's a smart idea. I mean, it's not necessarily getting over the lead that he wants, but I like this. You can see the kind of meta strategy happening there, like why he's doing that, why Dobert is doing that. Sorry, I don't know Dobert's programs. Just like, this would have. No, it's not gonna. Nice. Very low percent kill.
You kind of see earlier in that string why Ellipsis may have taken him here. He's going for this grab. All right. Gonna tap out another time.
And that's one great thing about Game Watch is even if you play conservative, like I said, I kind of called Ellipsis like maybe slightly more conservative than some of the Game Watch, less selective to throw out random stuff. You condition somebody to like not expect the burst, and then you throw out the yellow F smash until like very last stock. That's like a lot of things you'll see a lot of really experienced tournament players do it like in the middle or at the end of a set because
super long-term conditioning.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you see HBox do it sometimes. Things he'll like he wasn't using the entire set, and at the very last stock when he needs it, it's
that's the clutch box effect.
Yeah.
I think all of a sudden he pulls something out.
Yeah, it's sort of like preventing yourself from using something because
that's a really interesting. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, please.
That's a really interesting thought experiment that Metroid, the Ike player, would hit us with at all of the fest we would be playing at. He'd just be watching us in friendlies, and he would just say out of the silence, if you guys have a really big read, do you use it right away, or do you save it for the end of the set? We would have like these really long philosophical, like, well, you know, maybe I want to like extra condition him like this, or like maybe I just want to get it off the table and get back to the RPS. So I think that's kind of what you're talking about, where you save your You save the eggs until they hatch at the very end.
And that's like a very player-based thing. Like that's why people love Mango, because Mango has those reads like all the time. Like
Yeah.
he's always doing that. Getting a lot out of these pivot F smashes.
Yeah.
Bringing it out in this game 4, right? We're in game 4 here.
Yeah. Ellipsis is up 2-1.
Yep. 2-1.
And again, look at this spacing difference. He's so far away from the bacon. It's like Dobert wants to get in under the initial arc, and that's when he's getting all of his bread and butter. But if he doesn't have it, he's contented to stay super far away.
Right. I do think. Oh wow, that's a big point. Oh, there it is. There's the
Yeah, finally.
And
Ooh,
there's
that was sweet.
Did he have this jump? I don't even know. I don't know if he would have lived that if he hadn't got that guard. Nair into grab is so insane for Pit. The angles in which he can get grabbed, it's pretty good because he just drags you down and he can grab you. Oh! I like the little slide off there.
So something I noticed in the last game is part of the difference of Wario Land is that initial throw combo that Dobert likes to start his punishers off with, the down throw and a down throw into maybe down air, wasn't working as well because the platform was too low. And here, the platform is high enough that Ellipsis needs to mix up the DI either straight out or like go up. Do I want to go down to try and force him to down air early? And Dobert has more room to play around with the mind games of it.
Right. Do you think? Oh wow!
Oh my god!
That was super cool looking.
Yeah.
Kind of an up out of shield, but I got a little bit of lag there, so I didn't quite get to see if it was.
He up aired his shields and forced him to slide off, kind of like the knockoff, and then he cast fell up.
Interesting. Very cool. Do you feel like Dober's getting the SDIs that they need off of the Game & Watch upbeats? I feel like there's a couple of times where maybe some more SDI would have gotten prevented some throw confirms.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, yeah. I mean,
that is a very niche interaction.
Well, we did also, by the way, see earlier, I saw that arrow get eaten up by a bacon, so that's definitely not a good win in that interaction.
Yeah.
Spend that time shooting an arrow and getting eaten by a bacon.
Ooh, that was almost a really good edgeguard situation for Dobert, but didn't hit the third arrow.
It's definitely a bit of a make or break stock right here. Dobert has a lot of the advantage, but we've seen Ellipsis come out on top quite a few times. Like maybe right here. There it is.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
I thought you'd want an SDI behind. I continually see. Maybe I'm wrong because I don't know anything about the pitch matchup, but I continually see Dobert going in the direction of Game & Watch's up B. I think you want to kind of go the opposite direction between B and Ellipsis kills himself while trying to stall off the ledge.
That last up B SDI was a little bit interesting because the hit was so delayed. I mean, he like floated up and then bonked him at the last second, and I wonder if Dobert smashed a little bit too fast.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think you're right. I think Ellipsis is mixing up his up Bs in a way that seemed different to me than what I'm used to seeing for Game & Watch up B combos. Might be the weight class. Might be an actual timing mix-up that still allows Game & Watch to get confirmed. Oh
no, not like that.
Again, what did I say? Like the same thing. They'll save the read for it's a Metroid thing. Save the read for the last moment. A standing hammer didn't use it the whole set. It killed in the same exact way. Just turn around with the kill.
Yeah, just turn around.
Lucky enough to get the 9.
Yeah.
So quite a ways to go.
And that's 3-1 for Ellipsis. Ellipsis is in losers finals now.
Pretty tight though, I would say. Like Dobert, I don't know if Dobert plays a lot of Pit, but it seemed like there was a chance there to take that set for sure.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was definitely a very close set and very fun to watch as people. Just think about how different this. How often do you see like a Nerf Game Watch buff Pit? Like it's so new, it's so exciting.
Yeah. Good things to come.